Welcome back to another episode of What's Up With question mark.
Yeah.
I'm Austin.
I'm Seth.
I'm Garrett.
Yeah, you are.
Why you
All
got-
right. So today we thought it would be fun to break down some really dumb stats that we have seen or heard while watching some events. A lot of them are going to be baseball. I have a couple football ones, but we're going to allow it for today since it kind of fits with the theme of our video.
Oh yeah. Baseball is notorious for having just the absolute specifically pointless stats ever. And they are enjoyable to talk about. So we're gonna get into some of those today and break them down a little bit.
What we're going to do, me and Seth have some ridiculous stats that we found. We're going to read those, and then Garrett's going to give his initial reaction to the stat, and then we'll all kind of talk about it and break it down. So without any further ado, who wants to go first?
I will go first.
All right.
All right. So we're just going to go right into it. So this one I found about Jose Reyes. Did you know that Jose Reyes is only the third player to hit 300 with at least 15 triples, 10 home runs, 20 doubles, and 50 stolen bases? He's only the third one to do that.
What? Where are the other two?
Garrett, okay, keep up with me. He's only the third player to ever hit at least 300 with at least 15 triples, 10 home runs, 20 doubles, and 50 stolen bases.
I just want to know who the one that has to look through all these stats to put them together.
Not me. But how impressive is that? One of three guys to ever do that.
Pretty impressive.
There's so many levels to that. You got triples, home runs, doubles, and stolen bases, and batting. And somehow three guys met all of those criteria.
That's what makes a lot of these dumb stats that we're going to talk about dumb, because obviously, as you go through stats, each qualifier or criteria is going to narrow it down. And so when you just throw a bunch of them in there, obviously it's going to eventually be down to one.
Because a record or an impressive stat should be like, there's only been okay, I'm making this up, but there's only been 5 guys that have hit over 65 home runs in a season or something like that. Like one thing, quick and simple, to the point, small group.
I would be willing to bet money that Jose Altuve is the first Jose in Major League history that's only 5'4"? Is that what he is? Or is he 5'6"?
I think he's 5'6".
5'6". The only Jose in Major League Baseball history that's 5'6" that hit a walk-off home run off of Aroldis Chapman by using a cheating buzzer to send him to the World Series.
But he's the only one.
The only one to do it.
So that makes it cool. All right, let's see what you got, Austin.
All right, so this is one that I heard probably just a couple weeks ago. It was pretty recent. I was watching a Yankees game, and I heard this stat, and I just started laughing. Ashley was like, "What are you laughing at?" And I just went and wrote it down right away. So here we go. Gio Urshela is the first Yankee to have a grand slam and a stolen base in the same game against the Red Sox.
The only Yankee to do that against the Red Sox?
Yeah. Grand slam and a stolen base in the same game against the Red Sox. Only one from that one specific team.
Against that one specific team.
Against the one specific team.
Oh, man. That's impressive.
It is.
What that is. Did you
I
know?
mean, we can't just say, wow, he's doing good this game. He has a grand slam and a stolen base. Nope. You got to
create-
throw all that. First person to ever do that against this one certain team.
I mean, it sounds more impressive, I guess, when you put it that way. Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It probably does.
Yeah, it's like he's the only Yankee to do it against the Red Sox. There could be a Tampa Bay Rays player that's done it against the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. Or how many Yankees have done that against other teams? You know.
Well, I mean, how many players in general have done that? I mean,
Yeah.
that can't be that common of a stat.
That you have to
Yeah.
narrow it down that far.
Yeah.
A stolen base in the same game. I mean, that in itself is a pretty rare feat. Why would you have to put in the extra stuff?
So he could be the only one.
It could be the only one. That's true. Well, did you know that Ken Griffey Jr. is in a very exclusive club, being only one of 17 players under the age of 23 to twice hit 20 home runs and drive in 90 runs? Only one of 17 under the age of 23.
Wow.
At least that's like a little bit more common stat.
It is kind of amazing that 17. Sorry,
17 players.
Probably more now. Maybe no. That's a current stat.
Not the current stat.
Current stat. Sorry. That many people have met that number of parameters. That's pretty pretty cool, I guess. I mean, they've already thrown that much in there. They can't throw one more thing in there, like that played for the Reds and the Mariners, because then he'd probably be the only one. Maybe not. I don't know.
Sure, he's the only Mariner to ever. But I like how they also have to use the name Ken Griffey Jr. too, like because it couldn't be like the other guys, because some of the other guys are probably people that no one's ever heard of. But hey, Ken Griffey Jr. did this.
Griffey.
The other 16 guys, like they did it too, but this was the key.
Yeah.
It's important.
This-
Ken Griffey Jr. did this thing that 16 other no names did, but he matters.
But he did it. Cool. Let's hear one of your football ones. You have me curious.
All right. So this isn't even the really bad football one. This is one that I saw that was posted on ESPN's Twitter on January 13th of 2018. It says, dating back to 1947, the home team is 10-0 in postseason games between the NFL's bird teams.
What? Bird teams play.
Okay. So you
There's
guys,
there's five bird teams.
yeah. Okay. So you gotta say it again.
So dating back to 1947,
Okay.
the home team is 10-0 in postseason games between the NFL bird teams.
What does that mean?
So it has to be in the postseason,
And it pretty much has to be
and
NFC.
two bird teams have to be playing against each other.
It's pretty much NFC because there's only one bird team in the AFC? Baltimore, and I can't think of any other.
Yeah, because then you got Falcons, Eagles.
Cardinals and Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's 4 against 1.
So it
Really
happened 10 times. The home team was 10-0, which home field advantage anyway.
Oh, okay. So, oh yeah.
And the team that is playing at home obviously has the better record. That's why they're playing at home.
Yeah.
So they're likely the better team. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a really
You could throw it like that, like a baseball stat. Out of those 10 teams, the Ravens weren't one of them.
Well, the question I want to ask is, what about the horse teams? How do they do? I mean, if we're gonna just pick this animal, I want to know the horse teams too. You got the Colts and Broncos.
Oh, you just wait for my last one.
Okay.
To talk about animals. Okay.
Okay.
Because we got another. I mean, my other NFL stats also involving animals. So.
Oh, okay.
So don't you won't be disappointed. I promise.
Good. All right. Okay. So this one, I want to see if you guys can follow this one because I had to read this one like 3 times to figure out what I was trying to do. Okay. So this is MLB. Only 5 clubs in the wild. Excuse me. Only 5 clubs in the wild card era have trusted 15 starts to 3 23 and under players.
What?
There's only 5 teams since the wild card thing has started that have let 3 players on their roster have 15 starts in one season, I'm assuming.
Of 23 and under, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
That is
5
a
clubs
very
wild
specific
card era
stat.
trusted 15 starts to 3 23 and under pitchers.
That's
What?
a very specific stat.
Why does anyone need to know that?
I bet there's maybe 6 teams that have had 3 pitchers all under the age of 23 on their roster. Like, that starting pitchers. That's dumb.
That one might be one of the dumbest ones that I found. You know, the one thing, and I looked this up trying to figure out how they figure this out, and it's a ridiculous algorithm that there's no way I could ever possibly figure out, or nobody can without some like major math degree. Catch percentages. How can you possibly like? There's like they'll like rate catches and stuff like on start, and they'll say like this guy had like a 16.3% chance to catch this with their. It's how
Obviously has a 100% chance to catch it because he caught it.
got it. It's like, did you know he only had a 4% chance to catch this, and he did. It's like, cool. He's paid $300 million. He better be able to catch a ball. But
There's so many stupids.
I love it. All right, you can say the one that we doubled up on.
Okay, so we doubled up on this one. We determined right before the video started. So Lance Lynn, who's a pitcher, led the MLB with a .95 ERA on turf, and this was almost at the end of last season. Okay, but here's the kicker: minimum of 19 innings pitched.
19 games.
Not 5 innings, wasn't it? Yeah, pretty sure it was innings. Not 15 innings, not even 20 innings. 19
on turf. Not
on turf. Which means, you know how many innings Lance Lynn pitched on turf?
19.
19.
I mean, he leads the MLB on turf. How many fields even have turf? 2?
Apparently not very many if he's only throwing 19 innings on it.
Well, I mean, because you got Toronto.
Houston?
Houston, I think, is grass.
Grass.
I don't know my turfness, but all I know is I did play on a fully turf field.
Terrible.
Amateur state baseball a few seasons ago, and like everything was turf. The dirt was turf. The mound was turf. It was horrible. It sucked.
Turf dirt.
Yeah,
Didn't that
it was
hurt?
weird.
So it's just brown-looking turf.
Yep.
Did it hurt on?
Did what?
Did it hurt to slide?
I didn't slide on it, but
I don't think I.
yeah, it was weird.
Field.
I pitched a little bit, and that felt really weird.
Did you have a turf plate too?
Turf plate. I think it was a real plate. Can't remember, I guess, but pretty sure. I don't know. It was interesting.
All right, I got one more.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I got my doozy.
Okay. Dontrelle Willis, he was a pitcher, had a 5.17 ERA, which was the fourth worst in National League history by a left-handed pitcher with at least 200 innings. This one's not quite as bad, but
Yeah.
fourth worst in the National League by a left-hander with at least 200 innings.
I love how they pick him to blast because there's three worse. But
Yeah.
he's the one that they blast.
This is the name that they picked out, and I mean it's like
Like, yeah, I mean, people have heard of Dontrelle Willis, but he's not like a, oh my gosh, Dontrelle Willis, you know? Like,
it's well, and I mean like who sets all these limits? It's like why at least 200 innings? Like I don't know.
just
That
a
was
mess.
Bad, but I don't know. It was still pretty pointless. All right, let's hear your big doozy.
So I heard this one during this game
Okay.
and was really disappointed that I didn't write it down right away because it was so stupid. And I really hoped the announcers were joking when they said it, but they didn't seem joking from what I heard unless I missed something, which is there's a chance of that because I'm just recalling this. But this was, I think, just this last NFL season. If not, then the one right before, because it's fairly recent, okay? So, it was the Bengals, and this is what the announcer said. This is the first time the Bengals have scored 18 points or more against another feline team on October 12th since 1991.
There's only so many years that October 12th is even going to be a day
I was going to say, first of all, how many years since 1991 has October 12th been on a Sunday?
And how
Sunday,
many times have they
Monday,
played the team, which is what, two other ones, Panthers and Lions?
Jaguars.
Oh yeah, Jags.
Jaguars. Yeah.
So 3 teams that they could have played on a specific date, if that specific date was on a Sunday since 1991.
Which isn't even like atrociously long ago. Like that means if you look at that stat, it's like, oh, they probably scored 18 points against the last feline opponent they played on October 12th.
Yeah.
That date, 1991, has probably landed on a Sunday, what, 4 or 5 times at the most?
I guess it could have been a Thursday or Monday too. They could have played, but still,
They had a Thursday or Monday game that season on that specific week.
Okay,
But there's also a chance they had a bye week.
yeah.
so there's 3 days. So there's probably like 10 to 12 times that date has landed on a game day.
Yeah, and then it's
Out of
what?
those 10 or 12 times, if they were playing one of those specific 3 teams, when 2 of them are in the other conference and another in their division, like
it's a very rare stat to happen.
that's a doozy right there. That's definitely a doozy.
Yeah, that was ESPN. So
Sometimes commentators just say dumb things, and I'm like, for example, Austin and I have had this conversation. One of the guys for the Royals has some of the dumbest things that he just yells out. One of his favorite things to yell out is he will talk about, oh, he's a hungry mouse just looking for that piece of cheese. Like,
I texted you because I was watching. I haven't watched many Royals broadcasts, but I was watching it, and Salvador Perez hit a home run, and he said that, and I texted you, and I said, I'm not gonna lie, these Royals broadcasters are super cringy.
Max Hudler has some of the greatest one-liners ever. Although I will say, if you want some of the greatest one-liners ever said by a broadcaster, watch European football. There's one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. Well, two lines. I'll give you two. Were said by the same guy. It was a Scottish guy. And there was one time the goalie came running out of the ball. And he...
What? The goalie came running out of the ball?
At a ball. He came running out at a ball.
Oh.
And he said... So he comes in, he dives, and he jumps on top of the ball. And he goes, the keeper is braver than a... Oh, what was... Oh. He's braver than a matador in a pink tutu. Whatever that means. But one of the best ones I've ever heard is guy takes a shot, terrible shot, skies it, not even close. He goes, that was a Donald Trump's haircut of a finish. And this was a Scottish guy.
Oh, that's so good.
So really, if you want some of the best, I think one time he said too that the goalie came out like a kangaroo off of a trampoline, like stuff like that. But the Donald Trump's haircut of a finish, it's just
that's gonna be my go-to from now on. Oh, how was your day today? Oh, it was a Donald Trump's haircut of a day.
So, it's all of the dumb things that just make sports great.
We said earlier, or maybe it was last video, I don't know, that we don't like to get political, but I think everyone can agree that that's not the best haircut in the world.
No, and that's not political. That's it's just terrible.
It's just using your eyes.
Oh man. Well, I think for this one, that's gonna wrap it up. So thanks for watching with us. So for now, till next time.